Have you ever heard stories so strange, so unbelievable, they make you question everything you thought you knew about history? Well, today we're diving into 5 mysterious and unsolved events from the past. First up, you may have seen this photograph before, but the truth behind it is so shocking, it's hard to believe it really happened. This man's name was Eben Byers. Born in 1880 in Pennsylvania, he was wealthy, well-known, and a champion golfer. But in 1927, a simple accident changed his life forever and made him known in history as the radioactive man. During a train journey, Byers fell from his seat and injured his shoulder. To ease the pain, his doctor prescribed a new miracle energy tonic called Radithor. This so-called health drink was created by a businessman named William Bailey and contained a highly radioactive element, radium. At first, the tonic seemed to work wonders. Byers felt stronger, more energetic, and completely rejuvenated. But he had no idea that each sip was slowly destroying him from the inside. Addicted to the tonic, Byers began drinking 3 bottles a day. Over time, the radiation built up in his body. His teeth began to fall out, his bones weakened, and parts of his jaw started to disintegrate. By 1931, the once handsome and athletic man was unrecognizable. Witnesses said his entire lower jaw had crumbled, and holes had begun to appear throughout his body. On March 31, 1932, Eben Byers finally died, his body consumed by radiation poisoning. When doctors examined his remains, they found his tissues were still dangerously radioactive. He had to be buried in a lead-lined coffin to contain the radiation. More than 30 years later, in 1965, his grave was reopened, and scientists discovered his body was still emitting radiation. After Byers' death, the US government banned all so-called radium health tonics, and his story became a grim warning to the world. Sometimes, a cure can be far deadlier than the disease itself. Next, we travel to the year 1487, a dark chapter in Europe's history. 2 men, Heinrich Kramer and Jacob Sprenger, wrote one of the most terrifying books ever created. Its name was Malleus Maleficarum, which means the Hammer of Witches. The book was commissioned by Pope Innocent VIII, who wanted a guide to help the church identify and punish witches. But what was meant to be a manual of justice soon turned into a blueprint for torture. Inside its pages were horrific instructions, methods to make women confess under unbearable pain, forcing them to admit they were witches even when they were innocent. After its publication, fear and superstition spread across Europe like wildfire. Historians say that more than 50,000 women were tortured, burned alive, or executed because of this one book. Their only crime? Someone accused them of practicing witchcraft. One of its victims was Elizabeth Clark, a disabled widow from England. In 1645, she was accused of being a witch and was kept awake for 4 straight days, interrogated and tortured until her mind broke. Finally, out of pure suffering, she confessed, saying she had been intimate with the devil for 7 years. Her confession wasn't the truth. It was the result of fear, pain, and cruelty, born from the pages of a book. Malleus Maleficarum didn't just hunt witches, it hunted humanity itself. It turned faith into fear, belief into brutality, and left behind one of the darkest stains on human history. Our third story is the chilling tale of a quiet, beautiful place. Wells Gray Provincial Park in British Columbia, Canada. In 1982, it became the site of a tragedy so haunting it shook an entire nation. On August 2nd, a family arrived for a 2-week camping trip. The group included Jackie and Bob, their 2 young daughters, and Jackie's parents. For the first few days, everything seemed normal. They kept in touch with relatives through radio calls until August 6th, when suddenly, all communication stopped. At first, no one thought much of it, but when 3 weeks passed with no word, their relatives grew alarmed and contacted the police. A massive search began. Then, on September 13th, a man collecting mushrooms deep in the forest stumbled upon a burned-out car. He alerted the authorities, and what police found inside was horrifying. 4 bodies were discovered in the vehicle. Not far from the site, the remains of the 2 missing daughters were also found. The entire family had been brutally murdered. Investigators soon uncovered another burned car nearby, leading them to suspect a local man named David Shearing. One of David's neighbors mentioned that his car door had a hole in it, and that he had recently asked where he could have it repaired. When police examined the first burned vehicle, they found the same hole in its door. It was the clue they needed. David Shearing, just 24 years old, was arrested and confessed to everything. He admitted that on August 6th, he shot and killed the family, kidnapped the two daughters, kept them captive for a week, and then killed them too. He was found guilty and sentenced to life in prison. A family that came to the forest seeking peace found only violence and death, a reminder that even the calmest places can hide the darkest secrets. Now for our fourth mystery. This story takes us back to 1952, deep into the desert near the Dead Sea in Israel, where archaeologists made one of the most mysterious discoveries in human history. Inside the Qumran caves, they found several ancient scrolls, but one of them was unlike anything they had ever seen. This early human became known as Peking Man. The discovery was groundbreaking, proof that early humans had evolved in East Asia long before recorded history. But just as these bones were about to reveal the secrets of our past, they vanished. In 1937, when Japan invaded China, the fossils were packed for safekeeping. According to reports, Japanese forces seized them. Later, in 1941, as World War II escalated, an attempt was made to ship the fossils to the United States for protection, but they never arrived. It's believed the ship carrying them sank in the Pacific Ocean. Another theory suggests that someone secretly buried the bones in China to hide them from the Japanese army, and their location has been lost ever since. To this day, no one knows what really happened to the original Peking Man fossils. Only replicas and detailed records remain. The real bones are gone, perhaps forever. At Zhoukoudian, the cave still stands, now a UNESCO World Heritage Site, and a statue of Peking Man watches silently over the land where he was once found. It's a haunting reminder of how one discovery reshaped human history and then disappeared into the depths of mystery. Friends, if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the channel, so you never miss our upcoming episodes filled with more hidden secrets from history. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.